Hey bears, I am the Gaming-Grizzly and welcome back to Identity 5. The new hunter, the Breaking Wheel, was just released and therefore I wanted to bring out a guide for this new character. This guide will cover the persona web, the skills, how to use his skills, where to play this hunter, as well as some gameplay. If this guide is helpful for you, make sure to share it with your friends, leave me a fat like, and if you're new to the channel, subscribe to the Gaming-Grizzly. If you have a different opinion on how to play this character, make sure to leave me a comment in the comment section below. Alright, let's jump right into it. The persona web. This hunter's biggest weakness when it comes to hunting down survivors are windows. Therefore it is crucial to carry confined space as passive trait, to block windows for 20 seconds after vaulting. Tinnitus and wanted order are very important to equip as well. For Tinnitus, you will be able to get a prompt once a survivor is nearby. And for wanted order, you will see the outline of one of the survivors once you place the survivor on the chair. This hunter's advantage is speed. Therefore, once you place the survivor on the chair and you are able to see the survivor that is going to rescue, you can immediately cut off their rescuing route. Detention is always a good trait to bring to gain the extra late game pressure over the survivors. The skills. This hunter has two different forms, which will affect the skills unlocked by presence in different ways. At 0 presence in his normal form, he is able to utilize bear traps, which can either slow down or even freeze survivors for 2 seconds. This skill is useful when you are trying to close a gap between yourself and the kiting survivor while using his normal form. You will also be able to shift into his wheel form at 0 presence, which will allow you to move faster and give spikes to survivor that you hit while you're in his wheel form. It's also noteworthy that you can drift in his wheel form by clicking the attack button. This makes it a lot easier to control this hunter while chasing or simply moving around on the map. At 1000 presence, you will unlock his second skill. While you're in the wheel form, you will be able to extend the hit range of this hunter by 10 seconds, which allows you to give spikes to survivors even when you're not perfectly hitting them. In his normal form, you can now activate spikes by using his skill. All survivors that are nearby will take the corresponding damage. At max presence, in his wheel form, you will get the chance to save up another speed boost, making it a total of 3 stacks. When you transform from his wheel form to his normal form, he will now release a shockwave that will inflict all nearby survivors with 1 spike. Another important feature that I have to mention is that while he is using his wheel form, he is literally unstoppable, as if he is carrying excitement for the entire time. You can't stun him with pellets, nor with any other skills like the Enchantress's stun or the forward stun. He can't even be stunned by the tram on the Ever Sleeping Town map. He will also ignore the painter's paintings. You get the idea. And he is also able to destroy pellets when he is traveling at a certain speed. The spikes. Each spike can inflict 0.25 damage. Survivors can have a maximum of 3 spikes at the time. The spikes can be activated in different ways. While a survivor is carrying spikes, the hunter can hit them with a normal attack. This will activate the spikes and increase the damage dealt. In his normal form, with his second skill up, the hunter can use his skill to inflict damage to all nearby survivors, depending on how many spikes they are carrying. And if you are playing as survivor, you cannot remove the spikes yourself. It is possible for teammates to remove the spikes of other survivors though. How to use the skills? Double spike and hit. One of the most popular strategies early game is to transform into his wheel form. Find your first survivor and hit them twice. Now that survivor is pierced with 2 spikes and this turns them into a 1-hit down. This will immediately bring up your second skill and you have your first survivor down and ready to get on the chair. Hit and double spike with second skill. If one survivor is already damaged, you can transform into your wheel form and make sure to spike that survivor a few times before transitioning back to your normal form to bring down that survivor with the hunter's second skill. Double spike with full presence. Once your presence is up, you will release a shockwave that attaches 1 spike to all survivors nearby. When you're chasing down a survivor in your wheel form, you have 2 options now. Either the survivor is already damaged Then you have to hit him once with the wheel, change your form immediately to give that survivor a second spike and utilize your second skill to bring down that survivor over distance. Or the survivor is not injured yet. You follow along the same strategy. Hit the survivor once in your wheel form, change to give a second spike to that survivor, and now either use your second skill to damage and follow up with a hit, or simply hit that survivor, since hitting it will activate the spikes inside of that survivor too. The bear traps. The bear traps are mainly used to slow down survivors while you are chasing down the survivors in your normal form. Close the distance gap between yourself and your target by throwing bear traps into their way. Controlling the wheel. There are two ways you can improve your gameplay in the wheel. First of all, you can click on the attack button to drift, which helps you to steer around narrow corners more easily. This is useful when it comes to chasing down and hitting survivors, as well as simply navigating on the map. And the second way is to move even faster towards your targets by using the speed boost, which makes steering more difficult, but you can close a lot of distance at once. This hunter is very useful on larger maps, like Munedura Park, Lakeside Village or the Ever Sleeping Town, but can struggle when it comes to maps with a lot of obstacles or maps with second floors. Some areas of the Chinatown map are making chases in his wheel form almost impossible, for example. Overall, this hunter's difficulty is very high, but once you mastered the broken wheel, he can be destroying. As I already mentioned, I also wanted to include some gameplay. So here we can see how to use the broken wheel early game. You want to transition into his wheel form and find your first survivors. And there we go, we saw the priestess and we hit the priestess. Now we are concentrating on that survivor, giving her the second spike. As soon as we hit her now, she will immediately go down, bring our presence up to 1000, which will activate our second skill, and we already have the first survivor down and ready to get on the rocket chair. We are concentrating on that survivor, bringing her over the map far away, because distance is not a problem for us. We can immediately transition into our wheel form again and go back to the cipher machine we just saw, because we already saw that the perfumer was there decoding with the priestess at the same time, and the perfumer is the main rescuer, so we can assume that she will come in for the rescue. We were able to find the marks and see we made it all the way over there. We are now using our second skill to enlarge our spike area, and we hit her with one spike. Now we can use this spike with our second skill to bait the rescue, wait for the rescue and terror shock that priestess on the chair. Since we have tinnitus, we're gonna wait for a few seconds, try to see if someone is coming in for the rescue, and it seems like nobody would make it in time. Therefore we are transitioning over to another rocket chair with the perfumer, putting the perfumer on the chair. And since we have wanted order on our persona web, we're gonna see the next survivor, or one random survivor that will most likely come in for the rescue. But we have a pretty upper hand right here. One survivor is on the chair. They need to decode 4 more cipher machines. So now we can just concentrate. We can see tinnitus is activated. We can see the tinnitus is activated. We don't know where the survivor is coming from yet, because wanted order is on the other doctor across the entire map. But here we have the doctor. What we're gonna do now is we are trying to hit her, and we are trying to deny her from rescuing. Activating our spikes. She's trying to rescue. We are hitting her. We are transitioning out. Sadly, our presence is not up, so we're just gonna hit the doctor with one spike. Now I want you to pay close attention, because now we are in a really good spot. The doctor is going to heal up and trying to rescue again. So what we have to do is we have to hit her with the spikes, then transition into our normal form to give her a second spike, and then we can one hit down her. There she is, we can see the doctor, we are trying to hit her, we got her once, we are transitioning out, another spike is inside of her, we are denying the rescue by activating our skill while we are in the normal form, and then we are bringing her down with the one hit that she needs. Now we can bring the doctor to the rocket chair. It is a very difficult master, very difficult hunter to master, but as soon as you have his skills down, he is a lot of fun to play. Now we have wanted order on the last survivor. We can see that the doctor is coming in for the rescue, but again we're gonna utilize this trick. We're gonna try to hit her twice and then bring her down with the spikes and the normal hit. First of all, we're gonna enlarge our hit area right here. We're gonna give her the first hit. We're transitioning out of our form. She now has 2 spikes inside of herself. What we're gonna do is we hit her, and now we can utilize Blink to give her the second hit and just bring her down, and that is it for this match. That is everything you need to know about the broken wheel. If this guide was helpful for you, I would highly appreciate it if you could share it with your friends, and I would also appreciate a fat like. Also leave me a comment in the comment section below, and of course if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe to the Gaming-Grizzly. I hope you all have a fantastic day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye!